Okay, Lee, so we really got to get this Metal Gear Solid 5 chat started.
Excellent speech, my friend. Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good podcast.
So, does that mean that we're...
Activate it.
Alright, so Metal Gear Solid 5, E3 2015. We're going to talk about that. I'm Mark, and with me we have...
Hi guys, I'm Lee. How you doing?
I'm Danny, and I'd love to talk about some Metal Gear.
Hey guys, I'm Dan, and I am all kinds of stoked for this game.
I'm Don, and I'm an alcoholic.
Fucking hell.
I
God
knew
damn
it.
You stole my line.
Son of a
I'm
bitch.
Chris. I'm Chris, and I'm the angry scouser in the corner.
Alright.
Avoid Chris, ladies and gentlemen.
I got gas.
Okay, so who wants to start? The trailer's full of all kind of madness.
Actually,
so
can I just say, I'm in this group, I'm pretty much gonna be the noob's guide or to Metal Gear, seeing as I'm pretty much the noob of this group when it comes to Metal Gear. So from a new guy perspective, that trailer is fucked up.
Dude, it's fucked up from someone.
Yeah.
someone
I've been
who's-
playing Metal Gear for what? I'm 27 now. I've been playing so 17 years, and that trailer, I was like, "What is going on?"
Look,
even
man,
Hideo
I first picked
Kojima
up the
thought,
controller.
what the fuck is going on?
I first picked up the controller when I was fucking 7 years old. All right, it was 1991, and my brain melted and fell out of my asshole.
I mean, yeah, I would say yes.
That's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how else can you describe it? I mean, shit.
It's got some moments in here which I just won't be able to even tackle when the game comes. Like the bit where you see the skulls turn up when Big Boss is holding quiet and they start doing all that weird ass twitching. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm done. I'm done,
that,
man.
That
I
almost
am
makes
done.
it look like it's gonna be a horror game.
Yeah, I can't deal with that
Fucking
stuff.
E2.
Take
God
your
almighty.
twitching fucking mutants and shove them up your ass.
How do you stealth around
Now, Lee.
mutants?
Shit reminded me of the nurses from Silent Hill.
You can't stop them.
Oh.
According to the
It was
previews.
very, very reminiscent of Silent Hill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
fucking time.
But I mean, I'm sure other people here have noticed that they share the same abilities as Quiet.
Yeah, their tits bounce really good.
They bounce really good. But she
God damn it.
she must have been maybe
Pro-feminist, yeah.
she must have been one of them at some point, or maybe they just didn't finish turning her into one of them and she escaped. But she certainly has. When they reappear, it's each layer of the skin has to appear first, just like what happens with Quiet. So she must have something's going on. There's some connection, and it's no coincidence that it's holding Quiet at the same point. So I don't know what's going on there. It's very weird.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it just seems to me like, it's all about language. The trailer keeps talking about language. And
I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking surely we overlooked something because from every other Metal Gear game, there always seemed to be a theme. Like with Metal Gear Rising, it was memes. With this one, it's apparently language. How did we miss 5 games worth of some direction? You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to describe it, but the last 2 games were so very set in what way they were going and how they were doing the storytelling. It seems to be very different now. Maybe looking back, I'm saying
this trailer has no direction. It has no.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatsoever.
It's crazy.
If you look at the MGS3 trailer, it was all pretty much solidified in the conflictions between Snake and his mission killing the boss. It was whole thing was his conflictions dealing with that mission and being used as a tool to assassinate his mentor and stuff like that. But this trailer don't go anywhere, man. It's all over the fucking place. I mean,
I don't know. I think you have to pick things. You have to really sit and pick things out and just for instance, I know we were talking about it a little bit, and I had mentioned the mammal pod from Peace Walker.
Yeah, that blew
And
my mind. I didn't even realize that before.
yeah, and you had said like I didn't see it, and then you watched it again, and you were like, oh yeah,
Yeah, because in the scene, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I think it's around. Here it is. After about 2:10 in the trailer, it shows you Big Boss talking to Ocelot, and then it looks like Kaz says something to him. So Big Boss turns around, and his face is like, "Holy shit, what the fuck!" And you see the AI pod from the boss in Peace Walker, the AI which had her like data in it.
Yeah.
Which made it. So, what the fuck is that doing there? I mean, that's just going to send him all kinds of crazy. That being there.
Perhaps a little of post-mortem foreshadowing.
He's just gonna. What's that about? Is he gonna start? Is he gonna kick everyone out of the room and start having private conversations with the boss's AI? You know, he's.
You know, I kind of think. I mean, I thought about it, and in Peace Walker, that AI is not complete
No.
because she doesn't remember Operation Snake Eater. Like it doesn't register with her. So I kind of think that maybe Skullface or someone got a hold of Strangelove and helped and basically told Strangelove, okay, now build her with the knowledge of Operation Snake
Okay,
Eater.
now what about this, Dan? This isn't. I've just been, as you were saying that. Then I was thinking, there's been a bit of a theme about controlling people's subconscious in this trailer. That is one thing I picked up on. Now, how do you influence Big Boss? Well, if they get the AI complete, you could say that it's so past it now mentally that if the boss tells him to go do something, well, you should go do this, maybe then that's what causes him to start doing all the things he does.
That would make sense.
Okay.
You know, we know he becomes a villain, right? We know that anyway. We know he's
Right.
losing the fucking plot. So having an AI version of the woman he killed and he can't bear with the fact he killed her. So maybe the influence from the boss's AI, Skullface or Cypher, anyone could program that to say anything to him, and maybe that just sends him to do what he eventually ends up doing.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and I'm probably in the minority here. I don't think that Big Boss is as unhinged as they're making it seem. Like, I mean, yes.
No, dude. He's stood in front of the mirror looking like he's gone down on someone and they haven't told him what time of month it is.
We were all waiting for that joke.
Yeah.
When we're on the subject
That's
of
called
that
Flow
mirror
Boss.
there was something, and I know a couple of other of you have seen the CM post. There was someone had brought up the idea that that wasn't him in the mirror. That was some.
Oh God!
Did
no,
anyone else see that?
Man,
Anyone else see
that's
the
a
theory
bunch
that
of
someone
shit.
posted?
Man, it was
Apparently,
right.
Yeah, I think this is something we should clarify for anybody that's listening.
Right. Okay. So this post, the original poster of this said post had not realised that the Big Boss was a reflection. It did not realise he was actually looking into a mirror. So what the poster had done is he had made the connection. The horn was on the opposite side of the head, and then put a post up of Big Boss with the horn on one side and the reflection of it on the opposite side, and then he proceeded to write something along the lines of, "Oh my God, guys, which one is Venom and which one is Punished Snake?"
And he brought down a rain of hell upon himself from the fans.
I mean,
if anyone remembers the name of the person that posted it, don't say their name. We don't want to. Don't want to have someone sending. Like, we don't want to have a line of people
We don't want to cause
dressed as
deaths over
Snake
this.
outside of this guy's house.
Ladies and gentlemen,
sneaking into his house,
Metal
trying to
Gear
kill him.
6 confirmed, Mirror of the Patriots.
What's everyone's thoughts on the casual ride through the desert with Skullface and Big Boss, where they just ride on
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all very casual.
So here's the thing. With that casual ride, honestly, I think that at some point they, Big Boss chooses in what his mind is the lesser of two evils. I have a feeling that Kaz is going to betray Big Boss.
How you figure?
It's a hunch.
Well, we know that shit goes bad between them two.
Right.
anyway. The law,
Right.
that's pretty much securing the law of the series. We know,
Right.
so we're
He
just
calls
waiting
him
on.
a monster.
Yeah, we know that the fallout. We know that he forms out of heaven and Kaz isn't a part of it. So we need to obviously in this game is going to be when they have the fallout.
Right.
I always just interpret it as maybe the big boss is going to do so much dark shit, and there's going to be a situation where Kaz is going to be like, "Look, I can't stand there and let this happen."
Well, technically everything is dark to Kaz, but
Oh my god. Wow.
I mean, I don't think he is blind if that's what you're
No.
leading on. I
yeah,
think
no, that's exactly what I'm leading.
yeah, if you look at the skulls, they have the same eye. This kind
And
of
the African guy who's on the table too, with the
Yeah.
fucking thingy in his
microphone.
neck.
I don't know what that's
Microphone.
about. I don't
They're the-
why
What
that
is the
mic-
deal with Walkman parts in everybody's fucking torsos and shit?
Yeah.
I don't understand it, man.
Honestly, I think you know what I was thinking, and thank you brought that up. You actually jogged my memory because I had thought about this earlier. I think that's a way of Skullface getting like hypnotic suggestion.
Mm.
Because you notice Chico does it too,
He
and
has
then
it
as soon as
in his
in his
chest.
chest,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chico
and
was
then
walking around listening to his fucking heartbeat.
right. So like I think that it might be Skullface, using some sort of
The,
hypnotic suggestion.
the impression I got from that scene though is that I always thought that was where they was making the skulls because it all looked very
No, that's what I mean. He's
Yeah.
creating he's the one creating the scrolls.
yeah. But weird. It's a weird thing with these microphone parts and people's throats and chests and stuff. It's all very weird. I mean, MGS has always been weird, but this is taking the fucking biscuit. This is
Maybe it's just Sony trying to stick it to Bill Gates.
You know what?
Oh, you're gonna take over my franchise? I'll fucking put Walkman things in the game.
Yeah,
Everybody puts Walkman
But dub
parts
that
in.
in Japanese, and you know.
What I wanted to lead on as well is, I don't think some of the stuff that's happening in this trailer is actually. I mean, I think there may be a theme in this game where, and I touched on this with Dan yesterday when we were having a private chat in PSN, that during the game, I think something's going to happen, and we're not going to be too sure whether they're actually happening or not.
Right.
It does hallucinate and stuff and see shit. I mean, the big flaming whale on fire eating an helicopter told us that early on years ago. But there's things that happen in this trailer which just don't seem realistic for MGS standards. Like, there's a scene where he's on a car and he's driving away, and it looks like all the Earth's coming up behind him. And that scene is really nonsensical when you look at it. It just doesn't make no fucking sense. And if you look, the Earth that's coming up from the ground actually resembles the debris in his head to a T. So I don't know.
Well,
It really does. I noticed that too.
I know
it's
that,
like a fucking one-on-one scale copy.
I know that
Yeah.
I'm pretty much like the Metal Gear noob in here, but I do remember I was reading an article in a gaming magazine that had said this could be totally wrong or this could be totally right, and I could just be an idiot for saying this. That the shrapnel in his head was exactly that. It was like shrapnel from something. I don't exactly remember.
And his
the
body's
details.
rejecting it.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what's has caused like a lot of memory loss and like
Yeah,
neural
because I
problems,
think-
which is
yeah.
actually
At the same
theory
time,
that
it could have
can't
caused him to
Russian
go into
accent, but
early
he couldn't
onset
read.
dementia.
Yeah, well, damage to the frontal lobe does causes personality problems and stuff, and can cause. From what I read, damage to the frontal lobe affects your decision making skills and all sorts.
Which could
of
explain these unlikely alliances and the fact that he can't speak Russian
Yeah.
anymore, which he could in 3.
Yeah, well, that's something. It can affect your language. People with
Well, I was
damage
thinking
can
too.
wake up and
I was
not
thinking
be able
too.
to speak.
He's been in a coma at this point. At the point of the Phantom Pain, he has been in a coma for 9 years.
Surely there was some
of-
brain cell damage.
Right, exactly. So, like, regardless of the shrapnel, which I'm not entirely sure when that even happens, because if you look at the trailer, if you look at when he's laying on the hospital bed,
He doesn't have
It's
to.
not there.
It's not
the
there.
shrapnel's not there. So
I'll admit,
I don't-
guys, I never noticed this. Dan pointed it out to me yesterday, and I can't believe I didn't notice this before. But
right. So
clearly seeing the hospital scene that it's bandaged over, and so I don't know. That's weird.
yeah, I'm not sure what happens, but I do think being in the coma is what makes Big Boss have to start over intellectually. Like, he doesn't know how to speak Russian, and he was
Well, you got to
fluent.
figure. Surely, there is a place coming up where this man is going to undergo some serious rehabilitation. There's nobody on the planet that could just wake up from that shit and be like, "Oh, I'm going to go fucking kill everyone." Like, it just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's got to go through hardcore. Like, he's going to have to learn how to shit. He's going to have to learn how to walk. You know.
You're
I mean, it's
assuming
funny,
that
but
real-
I'm serious. He
you're
really does.
assuming
He's got to
that-
learn everything again.
real world, it's Metal Gear Solid and it's Big Boss, so it's kind of got the Chuck Norris effect going on, where
Well, of course.
it counts for normal people. Big Boss can just do a cartwheel out of a 9-year cobra and just decides to it's just how it happens.
You know what? If
He's
I
gained
can't
weight,
do a
salutes the
terrible-
American flag and a
he's the only
fucking nuke
person
goes off.
He's the only person to ever leave a coma for 9 years and be 5 stone heavier than when he went in.
You know what's crazy? I mean, I think he will have to go through some rehab. I think they're gonna they'll show that somehow, but I don't think we're gonna actually have to play it.
Montage.
I think they.
Well, I don't think
think-
we're going to watch him walking around in a backwards, hospital
Everybody
gown
needs a montage.
in a friggin'
We all
yeah,
need a
dude.
mountain.
That's okay, I'm not the only one seeing that in my head.
Press A to turd.
Now, Marcy, earlier today you mentioned having questions from the Nuclear trailer.
Hmm. Well, actually, speaking of questions
I love
for
that trailer, by the way.
newbies, I did have one more question about the E3 2015 trailer. At the end, there is a little thing that comes up, and I'm not sure if this is literally just saying that the game is here, or if this has some meaning that me, as someone who's new to the franchise, doesn't get. Where it says V has come, is that literally just saying that Metal Gear Solid
no,
5 is here, or is
But
that...
He is called Venom
Venom.
Snake in the game.
Venom Snake.
So they refer to him as V. When he wakes up from his coma, they say V has come to. So it's just a way of saying V V has come to. It says at the end, which is exactly what the doctor says when he wakes up.
Okay.
It's gave birth to many silly theories.
One thing you've got to understand about Metal Gear as a whole is 95% of the lore is cryptic, and it's left up to the consumer or the gamer, as it were, to kind of like decode this shit and make sense out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it literally takes about 10 years of full-time study to fully understand Metal Gear Solid 2.
Look, man, I still
Yes.
don't understand Metal Gear Solid 2, and I bought the shit the day it came out.
honestly, I feel like with Metal Gear Solid 2, there are fans that because I feel like I have a pretty firm grasp on that game, but I understand there are parts of it where I'm still I think I know what that meant. And I think that the allure of Metal Gear, some things you just you have to really metabolize it before you can make sense of it.
Yeah, I mean that is a really confusing game. I mean, I still don't think I fully understand that game entirely. I mean, it takes a lot of study, and that's because the way the game is made, again, it's super symbolic, and Raiden is supposed to be an extension of the player. He's supposed to represent you. It's just Kojima's a bit nuts, so it's really fully understanding what message he's trying to convey is always
He's
very.
a rather eccentric designer.
I mean, I can't understand this trailer, and Metal Gear Solid 2 is 30 hours of this. It's 30 hours of just not. It's sometimes it's like the cast in the game know what's going on, but no one feels like they want to tell you. And you just.
Well, that's because they all had headphone jacks in their frontal lobe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Psycho Madness is in the trailer.
Yep.
I noticed that.
He gets a few close-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Did I tell you, Lee, that somebody thought that was actually Ursula from Portable Ops?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I mean, we could go on all day about why Grey Fox isn't Big Boss and why
Semantics.
Volgan isn't Skullface and why fucking Santa Claus isn't Ocelot. But it's
What? What?
My childhood has been
Santa Claus
ruined.
over Nomad?
I have to open a present again just one last time.
Did you notice? Do you remember that scene from E3 2013 where it shows you the Africans who've got those diamonds, and then it shows you it's the punished snake scene, and it shows you like opening fire.
That's a lot more redder this time.
Well, it's redder, but if you look closely, in the middle of his forehead, it looks like he's got like another horn coming out of his head. It's really strange. I don't know if it's just lighting or whether it's deliberate, but it does look like there's something else going on in the middle of his head, which again threw me out. I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, I don't know. I think in MGS5, I think it's darker because the different times of day. So a cutscene will change depending on what time of day you activate the cutscene.
Yep.
So it's gonna
because if you notice,
which by the way, props to the developers on that shit. That took some skill.
Yeah, like if you look at the those who don't exist, that is the exact same, almost the exact same scene as when they were in front of the chopper in the newest trailer. It was just during the day.
So like, I want to take a tip from what you said. Speaking of all the little Africans, and this may be off topic, which I'm certain it is. Has anybody noticed that little image of all of the African children or the Middle Eastern children gathered around the tank, and they're all holding AKs and shit, have been used in real life news articles saying that there's war in the Middle East? Has anybody else seen that?
Yes.
Shit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is just Fox Engine
it's
for
so
the
ridiculous.
fucking win, isn't it? That's like.
I mean, dude, Fox Engine fucking all day, right?
When you can fool news outlets and they're like, oh my god, guys, they're standing in front of a tank.
There's children with AKs on an Abrams. Fuck.
You know.
We gotta get Walter Cronkite out there now. Oh, he's dead? Fuck, get Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, he's bad.
Nah, dude. Nah, we need, what's that guy's name? Geraldo
Rivera. The man who gave away the U.S. troops and got fired.
You know, it's crazy because if you think about the child soldier, you know, touching on the child soldier thing, seeing that, obviously that's going to be a theme in the game. This game is just going to be some.
Well,
it's going to be madness.
I mean, this is madness. This is like where I think perspective comes into it. I mean, I think a lot of the Grey Fox theories come from that fans don't like the idea that Big Boss could ever really become a villain or do the things he's supposed to do. But you know, he does hire child soldiers and he does run a mercenary base outside of any country's legal jurisdiction, and his entire military operation is funded by blood money. He's not. Right. The actions? He's not an evil guy per se, but what he is doing, he is a terrorist. You know, if his daily schedule resembles that of Saddam Hussein.
Banning documents and
document destruction
and hangar decontamination.
He's hiding weapons from the UN. You know, I mean, no one's daily schedule should start with
hide weapons
and
you know, it's crazy because I know you and I had spoken about it before, Lee. But in Metal Gear, and this is what I love about this series, one of the many things, there is no such thing as good or bad. There are just
it's all gray.
Just in real life, there's no such thing as great. You know, he's not so much a villain as he is he's a victim of all this. You know, he was completely used in Metal Gear 3, and he was.
See, that's why I sympathize with Big Boss, because he was just, his whole life was him being used and the whole time.
The perfect personification of his life was the end of Metal Gear 4, when he's walking through that goddamn hallway that is literally killing him, and he just keeps going, and he's got all of these.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just that's a personification of this man's life, is a perfect, you know, him going through that goddamn radioactive hallway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate to see Don, but that was Solid Snake, not Big Boss.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
You know.
I mean, see, I was speaking to Dynamite yesterday, and it's, you know, obviously all the psychological issues that Big Boss is going through. the twins had to have been modified so that they never suffered to this extent with post-traumatic stress and stuff. Because with Big Boss being just a normal guy who was born and just that's it, he's people don't go to war and come back all that well. And in this, I mean, what the fuck has he done in that scene where he stood in front of the mirror? I mean, he's done some bad shit.
I kind of think that connects to, remember in E3, I think it was E3 2014, at the end, when he shoots those guys in the head.
Oh, yeah. Possibly. Yes, because alarms are going off as well.
I think that connects because he's, like, once he pops that one guy in the head, it just goes, you're like, wow, okay, you're probably covered in blood at that point.
And he makes, I think it looks like he makes it out rather that he's making the soldiers stab him in the chest as well while there's a scrap going on.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. That was the impression I got. I mean, Young Gee made a good call on that. He said it was a case of where these two soldiers.
I am the boss.
Yeah, these two soldiers are fighting, right, and they're sparring, and one of them pulls out a knife
and takes it too far.
Yeah, and I think Big Boss's reaction was, well, look. Everyone here, his family. So if you're gonna pull a knife out on him, then you have to be prepared to use it on me as well. But I mean, how nuts you have to be to stab yourself
do it
in the fucking chest, just casually, like, you know.
I mean, like at a certain point, and here's the thing, and at a certain point, you got to be almost desensitized to it because look at what he's been through. He was what? 150, 200 yards away from a nuclear explosion that, like, after he fell off a bridge, after he broke his arm, after Boss crushed his ribs, like, he really, I think his threshold for pain is, like, just through the roof.
It has to be the guy gets
I think you've all got it wrong. I think you've all got it wrong. Well, it wasn't actually a knife. It was a Sony cassette player. He was putting it into his chest. We've got the theme going on here, guys.
Right. He just wanted to. He wanted to. I don't know. Put various bits of Walkman into him.
Product placement to fund Mother Base.
Now, do you all guys? You see the which is like the master shot at the end of the trailer where it shows you Eli, and then you think, oh well, that's got to be liquid, but then it pans to the right and it shows you like it's solid. Now, what I've got to say about this is it's weird because to my knowledge they didn't meet each other until Shadow Moses.
Yeah.
So this
seems there's a lot of crazy theories about that. A lot of crazy theories. One such theory is that they had memory augmentation by Psycho Mantis. Another one is that they're both actually Liquid Snake, and they've been having a go Code Talker's Peace Pipe, and they are quite literally seeing double. Another crazy theory suggests that they are Solid and Liquid, and they do meet each other, but they just don't remember it through post-traumatic stress again.
If you do look at the scene, they're not both quite with it. They both look very spaced out.
They both look faded. They look really faded.
Yeah, they look very spaced out. And it looks like the transport, and they are definitely in a helicopter or something. They are flying somewhere.
Yeah. It does look like it.
One thing I'll say is this. Now, in Metal Gear Solid 1, I think they did meet, they do remember it, because Solid Snake, like, they keep, oh wait, no, because Solid Snake goes, who the hell are you? Why are you calling me brother?
Yeah.
So that's out the window.
Liquid has always been aware of him, but Solid's never really been aware of Liquid.
Right. Until they met later in life.
Yeah, until it was, do you like my sunglasses?
Do you like my sunglasses?
Yeah,
I think I'll take them.
Fantastic. I think I'll probably stick with the Mantis memory augmentation theory until now.
Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, Mantis is there, and we know that is his game, and it getting in people's minds.
Speaking of Mantis, I wanted to propose this idea to you guys.
I love being proposed to.
God damn it!
So
did you guys watch they put out like a the one where Quiet lights the cigar for Big Boss?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! The fucking shot heard round the world reborn.
Yep. during the trailer, though, it shows Psycho Mantis levitating behind Volgin.
Yeah, I've
burning.
seen that.
And what I was thinking of, remember in Metal Gear Solid 1 when Psycho Mantis says, when I awoke, my village was engulfed in flames.
Oh,
I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, whoa, I think Psycho Mantis is controlling like the demon Volgin. I think that is not it's not like a figment of Big Boss's imagination or anyone else's. I think Psycho Mantis is bringing that back.
Are you suggesting that he's like a conduit, if you will? That
Yeah,
Volgin is
yeah,
a conduit?
I'm thinking of something like that. Yeah.
You see, my
That's
interpretation
interesting.
was he was just in Big Boss's head, making him relive past events and stuff.
Like the petals from
Yeah.
the boss fight.
Yeah, exactly. But what reason though? I mean, is he working? Who is he working for? Like Psycho Mantis. What is his game here? Is he working for Cypher? Is he what?
I think he's working for Cypher. Honestly.
It's certainly interesting, isn't it? I mean, Psycho Mantis, in one of the most iconic lines in his first game, which was MGS1, was the first mind I dove into was my father's. So it's quite safe to assume that he was born with these powers, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't sort of put into him like Zero, like sort of messing about with him, fucking about with him like the Patriots do with bodies and stuff. But at the same sort of flip side of that, Zero was at this point consoling information and could have saw easily in the media, a guy with psychonetic powers, let's go and grab hold of him and make my ex-best friend.
And you know what? That makes perfect sense, because what is Cypher all about? Information control and if you remember in the actual trailer, the new one, Zero's talking and he says, "I have found a way." Maybe Mantis is that way he's talking about.
Weapon of surpass Metal Gear.
Because it is all about information control. If he can infiltrate Big Boss's mind and make him do shit and make him see shit, and he's interesting. I'm glad to see Mantis back as well, because he is very iconic, and he's probably at no point in gaming history had any fourth wall been broke like he broke it on the day we all met him in MGS1. That was fucking crazy shit.
Right.
And
that fight was horrible. By the way,
just
throwing that out there.
I mean, weird fucking psychic guy in bondage gear floating around, reading your memory card and stuff. It was weird. But as for the trailer, that's pretty much all the nutty shit I can think of for the trailer.
Yeah, that trailer, it was 6 minutes long.
Well, the first half is clips we've already seen, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashbacks, almost as if they sort of went, let's just stick it out and make it 6 minutes long by adding flashbacks in. There's a really iconic part of the trailer that I wanted to actually chat about to you guys. Just before you see these people that don't exist with these bouncy boobs, before you see these people sort of shake about.
The Silent Hill nurses before they died, right?
Yeah, those ones. Before they sort of shake and go into a sort of big seizure and fuck off somewhere, right before that you see what looks like a big hand, like a big rock sort of move.
Yeah, holding Big Boss.
Yeah, it looks like it's holding Big Boss upside down, and then shortly after that scene, a couple of frames later, there's Big Boss upside down and Skullface sort of next to him. Now, do you think that could be possibly the end or the beginning of their relationship?
I think that's the beginning.
I'm just trying to find
this is how we meet.
So
that's a very, very powerful part of the trailer.
Is there a Spider-Man moment?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
It's the only way I can describe that to someone.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is when I'm not sure. It won't be the end, because I mean, after that they're going on casual fucking rides, and if you look at the end of the trailer when he's in that big sort of like bomber suit, and Skullface is there, that is Mother Base where he's at then,
Yeah.
Right.
Skullface is there, so he obviously allies himself with Skullface, and I reckon that's maybe when Kaz goes, "I've had enough of this shit. I'm leaving." But it's all really intriguing, man. I can't get my head around it.
Well, I think
the trailer seems to be at the minute all about revenge. I mean, E3 2014 was all for revenge, and Kaz was saying, we're going to take back everything we've lost.
Yeah.
So I think I'm sort of drawn towards Kaz being the one that says we should ally ourselves with this Skullface dude, and that's possibly where Ground Zeroes comes into it, where Skullface is like, we should probably ally ourselves with Big Boss and Kaz and Mother Base, so we'll destroy Mother Base.
I mean, let's maybe it's a case of where, Skullface wants to destroy Cypher, right?
Yeah.
Big Boss wants to, so maybe they're joining forces just because the enemy of is my friend sort of deal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny you bring up Kaz, because here's the thing: for as much talk as there is about Big Boss going crazy, think about Kaz. Kaz lost his leg, his arm. He was probably held hostage for a long time, and clearly tortured. I gotta think that even Kaz is not coming back from that normal.
Yeah.
So I think it might even be Kaz going bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's certainly the interesting part, isn't it?
It's just a clash of a group of people who aren't really mentally in the right place as should be.
I think Ocelot's the only mentally stable person.
Yeah, and Ocelot doesn't even.
Kojima said, Ocelot's one.
He may be stable, but he's very twisted.
Yeah, Ocelot's like, well, super gay for Big Boss, isn't he? If we're honest, but I think at this point, Ocelot doesn't even know whose side he's on anymore. I think he's been double and triple agent for so many fucking countries. He's no idea where his allegiances lie.
Right, but think about this. I think the only side Ocelot is on, and this has been my theory since I played. So since Metal Gear Solid 3 and the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, my solid stance is that Ocelot is in the corner of Big Boss and Big Boss alone.
Yeah, I mean, I'd concur with that. I think that's pretty much where I'm at with it. What does everyone think regarding the knowledge that Snake doesn't talk an awful lot? I mean, me and Dan spoke about this yesterday. I just want other people's input. So we know in other games there's always been a lot of talking, especially from Snake. He's always been very inquisitive. But in this one, is much more subdued. What do you put that down to? What do you think?
Kojima couldn't afford the budget.
Yeah,
no, actually,
Kiefer Sutherland got a high price.
That's right.
You see, I don't think it's anything to do with that.
I've read.
No, neither do I.
Yeah. Some people genuinely do, though.
Well, no, because he's recorded. Kiefer has recorded tapes. Like they say, even in the preview event stuff, they were like, "Oh yeah, you get a lot more of." But Big
why
Boss
is
talking.
he? Why is the odd? You see, I've got my own thoughts on this, which we discussed yesterday, regarding the fact that does he look like someone who wants to stand and have a fucking chat?
Yeah.
It doesn't. After all he's been through, he's only going to talk when he needs to get a point across. This guy's not going to ask questions he doesn't need to ask. He's not going to stand and talk to Drebin for 50
perhaps he just wants to.
Perhaps
he just wants to listen.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to. It's like what Kiefer Sutherland's so good at is saying a lot with saying very few words. Just by the subtle tones in his voice, you can kind of tell whereabouts he's at. But yeah, it certainly doesn't bother me. I mean, I've heard a few previews from YouTubers who say they find Snake boring and stuff. But my take on it is that when Snake is in scene, when Big Boss is in scenes in this game, it's going to be much more impactful because there's so few and far between. So when there's a scene when it's really kicking off and it's in the scene, it's going to stand out a hell of a lot more than it did do in previous games when he's talking all the time. I mean, in Metal Gear 4, he just didn't shut the fuck up. In Metal Gear Solid 4, I mean, there were conversations in that game which just went on far too long. I mean, the first Drebin conversation I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care about your fucking monkey, right? I don't.
Who else got popcorn at the end of the goddamn game?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I hated it. I didn't hate it. I actually quite enjoy the cinematic nature of Metal Gear. But
No, it's just a goddamn movie.
It went a bit over to the top, the number 4. I mean, to be honest, it's when people say to me their favourite MGS game is Metal Gear Solid 4, I feel like I have to correct them because it's an experience.
Your opinion is wrong.
No, but it's not a game, it's an experience. Metal Gear Solid 4 can't really be called a game, it's more of an experience. I mean, the cutscenes are like 8 hours long altogether. I mean,
On that on that sort of wavelength, what obviously makes the most important piece of a game is the gameplay itself, and I mean I think we really have to give some credit to the gameplay demo that we seen at E3 past there.
oh yeah,
There was some pretty nice stuff in that.
yeah.
well, the gameplay. I mean, that 40-minute demo, and here's the thing, I'm always concerned with watching trailers or demos or anything because I don't want spoilers.
Mhm.
Now I watched that. I watched the 40 minutes, and I said, you know what? If it spoils the first couple of missions or whatever, I'll watch it. I don't really care. For one, it didn't show me anything except for pure gameplay content and how good the gameplay is going to be.
Mhm.
After seeing that gameplay, I've decided to fuck off stealth altogether. I'm just gonna get in the D-Walker,
Live in the D-Walker.
get Final Countdown blaring out through the speakers, and just skate through the front of bases and just tear shit up. Because that fucking that gameplay was so awesome on many levels. I mean, the Diamond Dog, that moment where the guard is just about to come round the corner, and the dog barks, just little things like that were amazing. But
that was pretty cool. That quite literally does confirm the E3. Should we say the moniker on the screen? You know, a new breed of stealth. You know, it quite literally just talk about the new breed of stealth. I mean, to be in a way, you can be quite stealthy with D-Walker as well. And we haven't saw an awful lot of quiet apart from last year's gameplay, which was pretty fucking awesome as well.
When you crawl on your stomach, the dog also
lies on its stomach.
Really clever. They really do seem to have thought of everything. I love the retro-futuristic style. I love the fact that the technology just is so ridiculous for 1984. I mean, you're collecting tapes, dude, right? You're collecting, CDs are too advanced for this time. You're collecting tapes, and then you've got D-Walker sat outside for you to get in and sat navigating.
I do think, though, here's the thing going to the technology piece. In every Metal Gear game, every single one, Kojima has used technology that was at least 10 to 15 years ahead of its time.
Well, it's actually a theme that the retro-futuristic is actually what it is. It's what that means is they use technology that in that time period they were doing concepts for, what they thought would be happening in the future, they were doing prototypes for and stuff. So all the things that are there, probably even D-Walker, they was probably trying to draw that sort of stuff up back then. They just couldn't bring it to fruition. But
now you have robots that look like cheetahs that are running around. Does
anyone else find the Fulton system just hilarious? I absolutely have so much fun just Fulton and everything. I mean, I love how fast they arrive at base. And
I was just watching him Fulton a goddamn mortar.
Hey, better make sure that thing's not loaded.
Yeah, right. Hey, mother base, boom.
Metal Gear just has the best slapstick ever.
I mean, I tell you what, they're going, Cypher going, God, I wish I knew where this mother base was. There's just nowhere. Just look on the radar. Just look on the radar, and you'll fucking find it because there's balloons flying all over the fucking place. Follow the many balloons fly. There's sheep. There's tanks. There's jeeps. There's a
fucking bear.
There's fucking bears. There's all sorts of shit flying through the air over there. They could have been going to place.
Well, it is Afghanistan.
Well, yeah. Well,
We don't know what those cow huggers are up to over there.
Oh my gosh.
They might be doing this shit. Maybe they got weather balloons with grizzlies flying around. They use them as target practice for their nukes, Scud missiles, and shit.
Now we've only
Okay,
seen two
so
areas
we're
so
gonna
far.
be killed by feminists. We're gonna be killed by
That's right.
terrorists. Anyone else we want to?
Well, we were all going to be killed by terrorists.
But
just the Jews, nobody else, just the Jews.
Okay, well, before we get reported for being something that whatever.
Against humanity.
One thing I want to really commend the makers on the makers for is the menu systems. It doesn't break immersion. I've seen a lot of games where to do anything in the menu, it just breaks the immersion so much. It just seems so fluid. I'm actually like as I'm talking, I'm actually watching the 70-minute gameplay, and it's all so fluid and just so.
Yeah, the menus look really nicely done. Like...
I mean, I think the way they designed this game, okay, they took every criticism that you could possibly make about Metal Gear Solid 4, which was you didn't play enough, and it felt kind of
like it was a waste.
What they did, and here's the thing: in Metal Gear 5, everything is smooth, everything is streamlined. You play a lot more, and I gotta commend the guys that designed the gameplay, because I mean, even when they went up to that one that like palace where they had to get the terp. The interpreter, that was like you could use, Diamond Dog, and like he could find all the people. You could sneak in, like leave him there. I just thought every aspect of it was so finely crafted.
Yeah, and there's still so much about the gameplay we don't know yet as well. I mean, they're only really showing you little snippets of gameplay. I mean, the jungle gameplay from Gamescom, I think it was last year, really impressed me. The jungle just looks phenomenal.
It really does.
It looks amazing. I mean, the fact that you can upgrade your prosthetic arm as well to like stun people and stuff. I mean, I think there'll be more locations than just the two. I know the one showed us Afghanistan, but if you remember back to MGS4, they showed. I think they really showed us in the trailers the Middle East, and you went to Shannon Moses, and you went you went all over the fucking place. You went to France as well. So I think there's going to be at least another 2 more areas, which will probably keep the cards close to the chest.
Yeah, Kojima's not a guy to show everything.
But I mean, 5 years, man. I mean, as fans, this has been horrible, because I mean, I was playing Mass Effect 2 when the first screenshots of Project Ogre came out. That's a long fucking time, man. I mean,
yeah, it is.
That's 5 years. I've had 2 kids, and fucking all sorts of shit has happened to me in that time. And then you've got Bethesda, who come out and they show people how you should announce games, and they announce it, and then literally find out it's coming out in a matter of 4 months or something.
Yeah, fucking Fallout 4 fans who are complaining are ungrateful as hell. We've
it's like, shut up, you don't know anything. We're Metal Gear fans. We have to wait 5 goddamn years.
Because I swear to God, Kojima must have the record. This game must hold the record for
most E3.
For the most E3s. It has to.
I don't know.
Mate, it's been at E3 for the past like 4 years.
This is true.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't think it's. I think there has to be at least one that's got.
Don't know, man. It'd be worth looking up, because I know it's been like an ongoing joke, because we only got the release date not long ago. Well, about 3 months ago. But until then, every single E3 you was going, "This is the year, guys. This is the year we get the release date." And he'd show you a trailer. They show you some flush, polished, perfect gameplay.
And then you'll find out it came out in 1984.
And you're thinking to yourself, that's got to be Final Code. This has got to be it now. The game's nearly done, and it's coming 1984. Are you kidding me?
I lost my mind. I was like, really? Give me my release date.
Just give me the fucking.
It's like Duke Nukem Forever.
I wasn't. I actually at one point thought, is he even a game, and is he just making trailers and just trolling everybody.
His transition
It's
into
just a big
movies.
cock tease to the masses.
Yeah, he's just, you know what, I've had enough of this shit. They want Metal Gear, I'll fucking give them Metal Gear. I'll give them Metal Gear every fucking year. Like, this will go on and on and on until they catch on that I'm just trolling them.
Dude, you know what? It
Well,
got so bad. It got so bad to the point where I actually was looking. Me and a buddy of mine were sitting around talking about video games, and I said, I hope Metal Gear 5 comes out before I die, because there were so many trailers like coming out. Like it was just trailer after trailer.
I have
after
had this
trailer.
concern myself, you know. I have often thought I need to be careful because I can't I can't die. I can't die because I don't want to see my kids grow up, or I can't die because of any of this. It was I can't die because I need to play MGS5.
Right.
I need to finish the story.
Yeah.
Right. I told people, and it's funny because some guy on one of the Metal Gear fan pages on Facebook was saying, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to play this game, blah blah blah." And I said, "I'd play this game from my deathbed if I had to."
Oh yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, I've played over 100 hours of Ground Zeroes, so I mean.
now speaking of the hype, you got to think that perhaps the reason that they drew this out for so long is that Kojima knew this was going to be his last Metal Gear experience. Now, granted, that's just a theory, but what if?
Well, I mean, yeah, but it only just came out a little while ago that he was done.
It just came out, but what's to say it didn't start, say, a few years
Good
ago, and they
point.
kept having to push it back? You see what I'm saying?
Right. Good point. Yeah.
I think the one of the most realistic reasons is, I think it was E3 2011 when Phantom Pain was first sort of showed to the world. Quite literally,
Yep.
Phantom Pain, and nobody knew it was Metal Gear Solid. It was just the Phantom Pain.
You know, we all saw the character, didn't we? And was like, everyone was going.
Oh, that's Big Boss.
Who the
yeah,
fuck is that? And then, at that time, 2011, the only really real open world games were the Grand Theft Auto games, and Kojima was like, nope, I wanted open world, and for a long time, at that time, it wasn't really, we didn't have the computing power, we didn't have the processing power, we didn't even know what an open world game would be like in a Metal Gear universe. And I think the last sort of 4 years has been, Kojima wanting to push it back a bit more. B, yes, we want to do it on the next gen console as well. And C, how the fuck do we make a Metal Gear Solid with an open world? How are we going to do that? How are we going to make that stealth? How are we going to make that gameplay?
Now, regarding this game, for me, is probably going to be I actually think it's one of the best ones for new fans of the franchise to jump in. Because no one could play MGS4 that was fan service through and through.
Right.
MGS2 I wouldn't recommend to anyone if they've not played, really. So this one, I mean, from a newcomer's perspective, so like obviously Mars is the newest one. For anyone like listening to this who's maybe not played, because I think a lot of people are intimidated by Metal Gear Solid. I think a lot of people who say they're not into it haven't played it because they just think it's really wacky.
Well, either that or they just don't understand it. Because, I mean, like we've said, there's so many things going on and so many different... I don't even know. Just, there's like 1,000 different viewpoints that all make up one story, and Kojima does a really good job of telling them from each viewpoint.
So, Marcy, what's your viewpoint on like this, from being someone who's quite new?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole Phantom Pain, the last two, it's been a big part of the last two E3s. We know this is going to have generated a lot of hype for the series. This is going to be bringing in a lot of new fans. I as Lee said, I'm pretty much the newcomer to the series as far as this group goes. I played Metal Gear Solid 3 and I played Metal Gear Solid 4, but my knowledge on it all is not nearly up to scratch. So I'm still sort of a newcomer when it comes into this. I suppose one of the major questions that I would have as a newcomer, as someone looking to get into it, we know Metal Gear Solid is a very largely... It's greatly story-driven. That's the major part of it. So for someone who wants to jump into the franchise, a lot of the people that are going to be into it for the story are going to want to play the Metal Gear Solid franchise right through, especially seeing as that's going to be so easy with the Legacy Collection being out.
Okay, so what me and Dan, I think have opposing views here. I think for me, if someone was liking how Metal Gear Solid 5 looks, but they've not really played a Metal Gear, I'd say they have to just go play just so the story makes more sense. They'd have to go play MGS3 at least.
You hear that, Konami? Remake the goddamn first 3 games with the Fox engine.
So I'd say Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker sets you up perfectly for Phantom Pain, but I know a lot of other fans would say no, play them in the order of the release. But I think it's confusing for newcomers to go play 1, 2.
Yeah, see, that's actually the question that's actually the question I want to bring to this table, and it's something that I've heard a lot of people say both sides, but I myself, I'm actually over the next 2 months leading up to the Phantom Pain, I'm going to be doing a full replay through of the entire Legacy Collection. And a question I've seen proposed quite a lot, and I've seen a lot of people on both sides of it, is should someone who's coming into the series play it in the order of release, or should they play it in chronological order?
I was just about to ask that.
I'm
for the record, has anyone played it in chronological order?
There's 2 answers for this, Marcy. I'd say if someone is willing to play it, the whole Legacy Collection, I would play it in order of release. If someone's wanting to play it for the quickest way to get up to date in the story prior to MGS5, then you play MGS3 and Peace Walker. But if you're already going to do a full playthrough, you may as well go order of release.
Right. What I was going to say is, and I know, Lee, you had said it a couple of seconds ago, that you and I, we kind of sit, I guess, not on opposite sides of the fence, but just like the series, there's no real right or wrong. It's just kind of a gray area. I think, and this is me loving the series, I think that in order to really appreciate what's going on and the whole arc and everything else, because I know that there are going to be bits of fan service that are going to almost
it's very referenced as MGS, so you're going to understand the references more by playing order of release. That's
right, and it's kind of like you hurt your ability to appreciate those moments.
Just for an example, what Dan's saying is meeting Eli. Like, without playing MGS1, the Eli means nothing. It's just... But you'd get a different view because you'd see Eli as a kid and then you'd see him as Liquid in MGS1, but it's much more impactful to go from seeing him as the villain to seeing... Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, so I think what you... honestly, for any fans listening, for one, welcome to the greatest series in gaming history. And for two, play it if you can, if you have the patience. Play it in order of release, because at that point you'll be able to understand
which just for the people listening would be obviously I'm not including the original ones in this list, so it would be MGS1, MGS2, MGS3, MGS4, Peace Walker. That would be the order they need to play in. So we don't have too long left, guys. We're kind of reaching the end of it, so just for the sake of MGS chat, what's everyone's favourite MGS?
I'm going to have to go with MGS3. Subsistence, though, not Snake Eater. Subsistence because of the new camera.
Yeah. The new camera was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I mean, mine would be MGS3 all day long, and the HD collection version was just fucking ridiculously good. So yeah, mine would be. Mine MGS3 definitely. Yeah.
I would have to say 3, definitely. Probably, and honestly, it doesn't matter what version of 3. 3 was so good on every level.
To me, it was a perfect game. To be honest, it was the way they handled the gameplay. I mean, I'd not played anything like that in my life. That whole jungle setting they did so well. The story, my God, the story throughout that game, it just didn't stop. You just saw how tormented it was over his mission. And it's like I touched on this with Dan before. You know, I said I think he was more upset the boss didn't ask him to go with her than he was over her betraying her country. It was like, you're just leaving me behind. It was like you couldn't believe it. But yeah, what about yours, Chris? What would your favourite be?
I'm gonna put a real spanner in the works here, and I'm gonna say number 2.
Really?
Number 2 was my
Wow.
favourite Metal Gear of all time.
Wow.
Now, Sons of Liberty was the most
Just
cryptic thing in the entire world ever. I mean, even the ancient fucking Aztecs couldn't write something this cryptic. Now, the reason
still visit us is that game.
the reason I love MGS2 the most, I mean, everyone has a bit of a soft spot for Raiden, whether they hate him or not. Everyone has a soft spot because it quite literally does present, it projects
liked him, I never had an issue playing him.
I never really did too. I mean, it was quite literally like you said before. Kojima and Konami were like, okay, let's make a game where the player is the player. The player is quite literally the player, and then you've got to Solid Snake was then put on the outside as a third party, and that just made him that much more badass.
Yeah, I liked seeing him from the new perspective.
See, I'm going to agree with Chris. Metal Gear 2 was my favorite game as well, and for several reasons. One, I'm probably in the minority here, but I just really fucking like Metal Gear Ray, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's maybe just the character design.
Me too.
How he's like this giant fucking dinosaur velociraptor bird hybrid that can swim and just God almighty, like him cutting a backflip off the tanker at the beginning of the game, dude. I was done. That's it. I didn't need anything else.
There's no right or wrong answer to this question because they're all, unless you say MGS4.
In which case you are wrong. Your opinion
so it's okay if I say Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, then that's fine.
If we're talking about Raiden for a second,
don't ever bring up Revengeance.
Regarding Raiden, I liked him more in MGS2 than MGS4. They didn't need to stick him in a cyborg. They didn't need to grey fox him up to make him cool. He was.
I quite like Raiden.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I think it kind of ruined his character.
Yeah, I think in fairness, number 2 did have a lot of cheesy sort of separate from a rose so come back safely. It was a bit too PG for the game.
Well, you got to keep in mind they were trying to pitch a love story for a Coda conversation.
Yeah, I suppose.
You got a practical point there, I suppose. I mean, they had to tie her into the story somehow, and they weren't going to physically throw her into this shit. So the best thing they could do is have him have a real-life relationship with a woman via a telecommunication device. I mean, there's really no other... I don't see how else it could have played out.
Am I the only guy that was a big Fat Man fan? I thought Fat Man was the dog's bollocks.
Fat Man was cool.
He was cool.
I did like Fat Man.
All right. Well,
I look like Fat Man.
We're sort of coming to the end here, guys.
You should take that as a compliment.
Yeah. So
this has been the Cypher Gaming Network Metal Gear Solid 5 podcast. Thank you everyone for listening, and welcome to the Cypher Gaming Network.
Thank you guys. The link to our clan Hounds of Saladin will be in the description. You'll also find the link to the Outer Heaven group on Facebook, which is the biggest community on Facebook for Metal Gear Solid fans. That'll also be in the second. Is it?
Second, fan club still.
No, the first one doesn't matter. We're the best.
I will edit that out. We'll just ignore them. They're not part of this chat. So
they're a savage people.
That's 4 groups of people, boys.
Right. That's it. We'll call it at that.
All right.
So Metal Gear Rising.
All right, John. Let's cut it off.